To make a greater mark with beyond what you're currently doing. Now, do you mind just sharing with us what you're currently doing? So you transition now from being in corporate, and then now you were trying to deal with a family crisis at some point, and you decided to take some time off work, which ended up taking you to this journey.
I know, exciting. So my journey of entrepreneurship started, as Peter just indicated, not really because I had decided to become an entrepreneur, but because I am passionate about making impact in business. So whilst I was dealing with this personal circumstance we were referring to, I then started to answer the phones. At the time, I had the opportunity to then start a business in recruitment, training, and human resources. And I am a human resource professional. So I started a business doing that, and today it's called consulting. And yes, so we're looking at how
what again? Sorry, I missed that.
Crystal Consulting.
Crystal Consulting, got that.
So human resource consulting, training, and facilitation.
Okay.
Yes,
good.
So that. Yes.
Yeah, and in terms of comparison with the leadership roles that you had in corporate leading and your responsibilities, let's say on the board, and now you stepped out to being on your own feet, how would you describe the leadership comparisons in corporate and then now you are running your own thing?
I think it's for me always to be an authentic leader. So I showed up, I wanted to be authentic about who I am. And as I said, even if I was interviewed in the corporations, I would say, this is who I am. So if you say transformation is on the agenda, that is what I want to do. I'm coming on board with that. So to really understand what is the vision, what is the organization trying to achieve, and working hard with them on that. And I think the same thing has to be done in my own business. So I do two things, not just Crystal Consulting. I also have the International Marketplace Summit, which is also an organization that I lead. And there we are trying to get business people together with a Christian mindset. And we are wanting you to showcase what you are bringing into the marketplace. What are the problems that you're solving in the marketplace? So I'm thinking at any time when I turn up, whether it was in the corporations or now, it is always about being an authentic leader, understanding the contribution that people can make, and having relationships. So relationships are still very important. Relationships with people who really believe in what you're doing and who are able to assist you, and you also always knowing when you can make a contribution to somebody else in business.
That's right. I wouldn't agree any less with that. And in terms of, let's say, this marketplace movement, how would people sort of participate? Because this sounds like a huge vision with probably very long-term objectives. So how do people get on the bandwagon? And typically, sometimes human beings, we can be selfish. We want to get on something that we know it's going somewhere, so that at some point it helps me find my purpose. At some point further, it helps me feel fulfilled because I'm contributing towards a certain cause. So how do people sort of participate, and how do they benefit?
So we are just about to launch the website. So that will be in August, will definitely be, and it's the marketplacesummit.online. We do have a Facebook page. We do have a YouTube channel as well. International Marketplace Summit is the YouTube channel. So there, what we're saying is definitely there is a place for us to congregate. We want to know where your business is, or what problems you're solving in the business, your products and services, so that we are also able to support you. We know a lot of Christians are going into the workplace every day, and you are the professionals. You are the business people, and so, but we can't locate you, so we don't know even if you want to support you. So that is really a platform where we can all come together and support, patronize your business, and really, encourage, educate, inform together. So it definitely is a long-term vision. I've gone around some African countries talking about it, and the big vision is we want to turn the continent upside down. I mean, we want to really bring solutions to the problems that we have in this continent. I believe there is so much that we have on the continent, but we often see it going off the continent and then coming back, having been beneficiated somewhere else. So I want to find all the professionals to come around and the business people to say, how do we bring solutions to the 54 economies of Africa?
Brilliant. So I see where our investment publication can certainly partner with you guys, because in our charter, so I run a business investment publication called Gauteng Gateway, and we've got investment roadshows lined up. The first should have been in New York in September, but we had to move it due to COVID. And what is prescribed for corporates that will come on board for that investment conference, exploring opportunities in Africa, is that we want the beneficiations to happen in Africa. So if you want to invest in a mine, for instance, in Africa, the deal is that we seal a deal with those African governments to say, whichever investor we're bringing in, we want to ensure they will pledge that they will process a majority of the finished goods within the country, or at least 60 to 70% of the process should be done locally. So there's a lot of skills transfer. The value add has a multiplier effect, and we insist that 50% of management should be women, because statistics, the writing is clear on the wall that if you have more women in management, the benefits are endless, and it really impacts your bottom line. Why, as men, we insist on hanging on to that, God knows,
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so really, Prudence, I really appreciate you spending this time with us. But again, Mentored Coffee really focuses on brewing new leaders. So to the young people out there, or someone who is of a certain age, they're like, what, Prudence, I appreciate what you're talking about, but I'm in my 50s now. Someone is saying, hey, listen, Prudence, I'm a bit too young to sort of participate and engage in the way that you engage, or be involved in the thing, or do the things that you did, because you've been exposed to corporate. I haven't had that opportunity. So what do you have to say to people like that?
So right from the 18s to, you said I'm 50.
Yes.
So for a broad audience, I would say I showed up at 18 in my job when I started my career the way I show up today, right?
Yes.
So I said it was about being authentic, about taking business seriously, and I always do that. And sometimes people say I take it too seriously, because I'm all about we need to achieve results.
That's
so
right.
Often found in HR, even when people are brought into their organization, they will promise a whole lot of things. They will promise, I'm very good at customer service, I'm very good at this and that. But when they get the job, they don't deliver on the promises that they've made. So for the young people who are coming out, I also some years back I used to run the graduate academy for IBM. So when people come in, I'm saying be as.
Is that how you know Rebecca?
That is how I know Rebecca. Yes.
Oh, okay, that explains. Okay. Gotcha.
So the young people came in, and I would take them through this academy, and then they would be placed in the business. But the attitude within which they started is that it determines that altitude of how far they would go. And today, those graduates, some of them are around the world. And sometimes when they get in touch with me, I'm like, oh my goodness, who would have thought? This young guy, being very opinionated, didn't want to listen to me, now can tell me, Prudence, thank you so much for that time of investing in us. So I would say to have that seriousness of mind, whatever you start, make sure that you make a contribution to that place where you're starting. I also talk about entrepreneurship, having the mindset about everything that you do as an impact on the business, whether it is So using their resources, their phones, the data, the Wi-Fi in the office, everything that you. So for me, that is how I landed. And all the way up to the 50s, mentoring others, you have acquired so much knowledge and information. Right. And sometimes we've worked on contracts where the more experienced hires could not find a way of transitioning, and the learning and development didn't happen, and they would not share the information that they have. But you're close to retirement and you're going to retire with like 30 years of knowledge. So I would say to everyone, there is an opportunity to lead yourself in this area. So young people to lead themselves by being disciplined about how they enter a workspace. And even when you present, maybe some of them have got opportunities or business ideas, how to present, preparing well every single time you have an opportunity to pitch or to meet someone. You know, sometimes people give you a lead and you would say, okay, call Peter. And I know he does this, he's got this publication. And the person doesn't appear on time, they don't prepare well for the conversation, and they miss an opportunity. And for the ones, as I said, more experienced people, really there's a contribution that you can still make to our nation. A lot of our citizens in South Africa are under the age of university and downwards. So 60% of our population are in that university, 24 and under. So you can make so much impact. Because it's not about today, it's about the South Africa we want to leave for the generations to come.
That's right. And the continent overall, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Prudence, this has been really, really awesome. Thank you so much. So, listeners, we will have Prudence's details, you know, her Twitter, her Facebook account, and I think it is important for the improvement of mankind, in my view, you know, and Africa is where life began. So get in touch with International Marketplace and see how you can align yourself with them and start to participate in the very near future with some of the great programs that they're looking at. Already personally, I've said, look, with what I'm working on, I've already seen how the lines sort of meet. There's no point in replicating and doing something that somebody else is already doing, or there's no point in using one hand when two hands or three hands are better than one. Prudence, any last closing remarks?
No, I just want to thank you again for the opportunity to come and speak to your listeners. And I want to say to everyone, I think in this time, one of the most important things is lead yourself well. I think it's a challenging time for entrepreneurs, for business, for nations, leaders of nations. So for everyone, leading yourself in your home, with your family, leading yourself in terms of the business, having answers. Because I think some of the employees are waiting for answers, and we may not have all the answers for them right now. But that is a time to lead yourself well and be truthful and honest in your relationships and in your conversations with people, and lead ourselves into the future. Still see that future. I think there is a vision to be had, and create that future going forward. So that's what I would leave with everyone.
Great, Prudence. Thank you.
Thank you
viewers, great, Prudence. Thank you. Viewers, this has been Peter, and I look forward to catching up with you guys once again for something really, really exciting. I've got a really exciting conversation happening next week. And remember, it happens every Sundays. And then thereafter, you can also feel free to watch anytime on YouTube. So this has been your host, your boy, your friend, your mentor on Mentored Coffee, Brewing New Leaders. Bye-bye.